Creative Women of the World is the place to find original designs created by women who live in third world countries and by women in first world countries who support and believe in the power of creativity as a solution for poverty. A Green Frog is your local shop for eco-friendly and sustainable chic gifts, including exclusive lines of pottery and organic fragrances by local artisans. Joining me today to talk about these creative endeavors are Lorelei VerLee and Hope Sheehan. Thank you, ladies, for joining me on Arts Weekly, and welcome.
Thank you for inviting us.
It's great to meet you both. I've heard so much about both of you, and this is our first time to actually sit down and visit.
Right. It's wonderful to meet you as well.
Congratulations on the success of Creative Women.
It's been wonderful. The community has really done beautifully in supporting it.
Tell me a little bit about the history. When did you get started, and where are you located and that sort of thing?
We're located right downtown, next door to J.K. O'Donnell's, so the place to be downtown. And we actually moved in there a little over a year ago, and prior to that we were in an office and warehouse near Northrop High School. And ever since we got to move downtown, it's been phenomenal. So we're just 2 years old.
Well, you've really turned into a retail organization.
Yes.
I would imagine out by the warehouse in Northrop, you're not really a retail, but
well,
now you're...
Yeah, we were just trying to get our structure set up, get our organization designed, know very clearly where we wanted to go. And so that year was very helpful to us, and we were ready to kick.
It's a pretty creative mission.
It is.
Tell me a little bit about the mission, because I think it's really significant. And I think it's really significant that it's coming from Fort Wayne.
Thank you. Thank you. And it truly is a collaboration of passion. This has come out of all of us having such a passion for helping people who are in extreme poverty, unlike anything that we know in our own country, really. And also the women who have become victims of human trafficking, and honestly that happens in our own country as well.
Sure does, absolutely.
And then situations where people have suffered from disaster, and so as we are able to work with them to help them create a business, we then give them access to markets that are broader than what they're able to access.
So if I understand the mechanism, it is that you get art made in a foreign country and you bring it to sell here on behalf of those individuals.
Yeah, our main purpose is to actually train them in business so that they can have a sustainable business that is also profitable and ethical. And so all of that is very, very crucial. But then many of them don't have a market locally that will really give them that sustainable business. So then we can connect them to broader markets, as I said, here in the States.
I like that idea of that you're going to train them to do something larger than just create the art. You want them to be self-sustainable. You just don't want to go over there, get off a plane, buy some goods and come back.
Exactly.
That's not what you do.
That's not what we're about.
Well, that's important to clarify, because I have to say I thought that sort of was what it was, but that's not it.
No.
You have a larger mission.
Exactly. We are primarily a nonprofit dedicated to training them in business. But then we use our boutique as part of the training, because then we allow them to test market their products. We're going to see how does the audience, the market, react to their things. If they do well, then we can keep building their business further and further.
And you're located downtown, and but now we have a new company, A Green Frog.
We do.
And Hope, you want to talk about that a little bit? Tell us what A Green Frog, what does it mean?
What does it mean?
What does it stand for? Did you, what does the Green Frog mean?
Well, you know, it's interesting that a frog actually is a very transformative, cross-culturally significant emblem. And so we thought it was appropriate, because what we truly believe in is a transformation. Frogs transform throughout their life cycle. They're great indicator species from a scientific perspective. And so we really thought that was a very solid emblem to kind of represent what we were doing. We're also a division of a greater company called Anoki International, which is our parent company for the jute bag business, which I can kind of show
I'm very familiar with that. We have a mutual friend who's a part of Anoki. I think he and his family created Anoki. And they have these wonderful jute bags.
Yes, so this is a meeting of the minds. But what was interesting is that this particular effort was not just about bags. It's really about setting an example for what business can be. It can be a transformative experience for the people on either side of the ocean. It can be a transformative experience from within the organization itself. And so we, because of the work that we've done with Creative Women and the alignment we had with Inoki, it made a great synergy to come up with an ethically sourced, eco-friendly company to start distributing bags. And then as that kind of grew, it kind of evolved into other things. Like that's something that Lorelei and I are very comfortable with, is that we're not afraid to change and we're not afraid to navigate what's coming. And we also think that's kind of a unique approach to business too. So it's not just a hard and fast forecasting, it's what's really going on, how are you sensing what's going on, how are people reacting, what's the organization doing, is it, you know, people fit the organization, or do you fit the organization to people? And so we challenge those things with how we're operating as a unit. So.
Well, Inoki, when it was set up as an eco-friendly, reusable bag. It's made out of reusable. It's reusable.
It's jute.
Jute.
Yes.
Right. It's made in India. Biodegradable. That's what I was looking for. In India.
Yes.
And the designs, we showed several photos already of the design. The designs are absolutely beautiful.
Yes. Yeah. They're well made. We have an interesting access point because it's just us and the manufacturers. There isn't any middlemen.
Right.
So when you talk about accessibility and giving opportunity, that's really what you need to do.
And a Green Frog, though, is a for-profit corporation.
Yes, it is for-profit.
Working in tandem with Creative Women of the World, which is a not-profit organization.
Right.
And more those kinds of partnerships across America are happening to complement both, because sometimes the not-for-profit side of it needs a little bit of a umbrella to make sure that the mission gets achieved. And so that's a nice marriage of those two organizations.
It's true. We do take 100% of the profit that comes from the boutiques to fund our purpose, our development, but by having a for-profit business that has written into its DNA that it is going to be for the benefit of something, that is powerful.
That's terrific.
Yeah.
Now you travel a lot. Both of you have traveled for Creative Women in the World and a Green Frog. You've recently been to Thailand.
Yes.
As part of the mission, you go and locate new artisans.
Right. And I was actually originally invited to speak at an Asian conference, and while I was there, it was in Chiang Mai, and I knew that one of the organizations that we work with is called Destiny Rescue, and they are located in Chiang Mai, so I made contact and wanted to see what was going on with them directly, and it was beautiful. This is an organization that is rescuing young girls from forced prostitution, and they're in that because of extreme poverty.
Sure, absolutely.
And most of them are between the ages of 12 to 17. But one of the things that they make are t-shirts. So we actually designed some t-shirts that were really, really cool. And it had a quote on it that really kind of shows the heartbeat of what we feel like we want to do at Creative Women of the World.
Let's show that, and would you mind reading that quote, because we can't read it on the screen, because I think it's a terrific quote as well.
Yes, this was designed by Nicole Moore, who is the Director of Retail Operations for Creative Women of the World. She's a wonderful artist, but this quote is, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has." It takes people to actually carry out this greater purpose.
And that quote was from
Margaret Mead.
Yeah, it's a beautiful quote.
I love it.
And it's certainly what you ladies are doing.
Well, that's what we're trying.
And you've recently been to Mexico.
Yes, I was in Mexico. I had the privilege of working with a woman who started an arts and music program for kids on a rancho outside of San Miguel de Allende, up in the mountains there. So it was a beautiful experience to work alongside them. These are children that have 2 teachers for over 200 students. They don't have access to clean water or electricity. But Else Marie Norby believes that by engaging the mind creatively at a very early age, that really it's about coming up with a way to teach them how to create their solution at a very young age. They don't have access. They don't have
Right.
things.
Exactly.
So I was very excited about partnering with her. And then the other group that I was able to talk to was a group called Mariposa, which these women have been hidden up in the mountains and have a bag business that they work with. There's probably 18 to 25 women that sew pieces of different sizes, shapes, bags, because they've been victimized or marginalized by the drug trade, which is a huge problem. And typically there's a lot of violence related to that. So they have to kind of be quiet about what they're doing.
Before we run out of time, I want to briefly talk about the local effort that you have. You have a new organization.
Yes.
Let's talk real quickly about that before we
We
run
are
out of time.
so excited. We have always worked with American artists in helping them develop their businesses, but it's not always as obvious in our store. So we are actually opening up the second floor with a new division of Creative Women of the World called Lotus. And Lotus stands for Local Opportunities for Training in the U.S. So we are also going to be training women here who want to learn how to have an ethical, sustainable, profitable business, and then we will help them go through the market channels as well.
So you're bringing the mission home.
Excellent.
Full
Yes.
circle.
Yeah.
Full circle,
Yeah,
exactly. The
absolutely.
vision
Yeah.
was out there, now you're bringing it back.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
do you have people in mind that you want to sign up and sort of have a vision already as
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
who the
we've-
sort of
yeah.
first class will be, if you will?
We've
And-
identified, we've got a potter. We've actually already launched a fragrance line, working and mentoring. We've got an organic lip balm line that's coming out. It's really exciting. And it's just an outgrowth of being in a creative spirit.
Yeah.
And we don't put limitations on anything.
Right.
You know, once you realize you don't have enough money and you don't have enough time, you just figure out how to make it happen.
Yeah.
And I want to remind everybody
That's
that
right.
it's the holiday season.
That's
Yes.
right.
And
Absolutely.
what a great place to shop.
Yes.
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 Right next
yes.
to
Right. J.K. O'Donnell's.
J.K. O'Donnell's.
right.
Go in, have a
And-
brew,
yep.
and come over and spend some
There
money.
you go.
It's a wonderful afternoon.
What are your hours of operation?
11 till 7 until Christmas, and then except Christmas Eve, and then normally we are noon to 7 and closed on Sunday.
Great. Well, thank you both for joining me, and
Thank you very
congratulations
much.
on what seems to be a hugely successful endeavor.
We're
Yeah.
thrilled.
And I'm very proud that you're in Fort Wayne.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
we are
Thank
too.
I
you.
can
Thank
see
you.
the international outreach, and I look forward to coming down and visiting your store.
Thank you, John.
I'm John O'Connell with the IPFW College of Visual and Performing Arts. Next time on Arts Weekly, we'll visit with Kelly Updike and Destin Riley to hear all about the Embassy Theater series Down the Line Hardcore. Then Jonah Chrismore will be here to give us a rundown of upcoming events at the Cinema Center. For up-to-the-minute arts updates, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And be sure to join us here live Thursday evenings at 7:30 on PBS 39. Thank you for watching Arts Weekly.